Hello, everyone. So I want to first thank you guys for tuning in. And again, thank you for tuning into Cold Black. I am coming to you very shortly with a story that kind of started probably at the end of last week concerning the Bachelor in Paradise story with DeMarco Jackson and Corinne Olympios. Um, and so this basically, when I first saw the story, I was, I didn't really pay it any attention, but as more and more um, details come out, it's like, whoa, this is kind of getting a little funny. So I wanted to make sure I did a video on it because I want to break down some of the psychology within it concerning black men and the stereotypical black men with the white woman and the white woman claiming rape. So I kind of want to go over that because that's one of the oldest um stereotypical things in the book where many black men have been accused of some type of sexual assault by white women since forever. And so again, these are allegations. So this young man, there he this is an allegation. And so you know um we don't know if he did it or if he didn't. I would say he did not. I definitely believe him. And I do not believe her. And I'm going to tell you why. Um, so let me pull up because um, um, let me pull up the TMZ um, video that they had concerning this because it was a really good video. So let me pull that up. I thought I had it pulled up already. Hmm. But again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in for a second, and I won't have you long. I just kind of want to go over these um, things, this story here, and kind of lay out some of the details about the story. So, D.L. Hewley, the GED section.com. This is where I'm reading from and I'm getting the information from. And then I'm also going to play a TMZ video that they posted on the website. So basically, um, this particular writing came out today, and it says sex without consent is rape, and it can be hard to give consent when you're out of your mind drunk. But it's always way more complicated than that, right? Especially when you add an entire film crew into the question. Bachelor in Paradise was shut down after a misconduct situation involving Corinne Olympios and DeMario Jackson. Apparently, the duo was seen rubbing, touching, fingering, and engaging in oral sex in the pool while drunk. At first, it sounded pretty innocent, but that quickly changed with Corinne claimed she never gave consent. So basically, that's basically saying that they didn't have sex, but they were touching and rubbing and fingering, and she technically did not give consent because she was drunk. This is what she's saying. This is what she's alleging. Now, one of the BIP, which is Bachelor in Paradise crew members who claims to have witnessed the situation, stated that during the sexual encounter, Corinne was limp and sliding under the water, implying that she was way too drunk to be consenting to anything. So now you have a one of the crew members who's pretty much backing up her story with what he quote unquote say he's seen with his own eyes. Okay, so now they're painting this picture as if she was drunk and out of her mind, and didn't know what she was doing, and because she was drunk and did not know what she was doing, it is, she's saying that she was raped. Okay, even though she was all over him and after him and trying to get him to engage with her, because she was drunk and did not realize that's what she was doing, she's saying it's rape. Now, Black men socially need to realize that many of you are demonized socially. This means that you are not necessarily looked at as the quote unquote nice, soft teddy bear. You're more like a giant bear that will slice people's heads off and rape people's white women. That goes way back to slavery days, when the white woman would get mad for you, not the black buck, if you will, not wanting to engage in sexual activity with her. She gets mad and says, well, I'm going to tell so and so if you don't. That happened too. A lot of people don't realize, but you hear about the rape of Black women by the white men during slavery, and you don't really hear about how the white women also did a lot of the raping. They did a lot of coercing because they wanted that black penis. Until this day, there's a much of that still goes on, except for you don't really have to do too much coercing. You just have to look good, I guess, to them, and they fall for it. But in this particular case, I want to first point out to Black men, you guys have to realize that you are seen as big, scary, oh my God, men. And that when it comes to your word against a white woman's word, this is statistics. Okay, I'm not saying this because it's something to say. These are statistics. When you have a Black man saying, no, I didn't, and you have a white woman that says, yes, you did, guess who wins? Guess who they're going to believe in the court? Guess who they are going to side with? You have to understand this. This is very, very vital. And the fact that many of you do not understand this is troubling. Okay? So we really need to get a good understanding about what's going on in society as it relates to Black men and how we are seen, how you guys are seen. Okay? So, now I'm going to tell you, let me go ahead and I'm going to play some of the video from TMZ. So let me share my screen here with you guys. Okay, here it goes. Okay. So, what is this? Is this that I don't know what this is, but okay. So now this is the video from ET. I'm sorry, I thought it was TMZ. I think TMZ is down. Okay, this is a TMZ video. Actually, I'm gonna play. Let's play this one first.
I love you all.
Only ET has video of Bachelor in Paradise star DeMario Jackson, spotted out for the first time since news broke that production on the show had been shut down over an alleged incident between him and Corinne Olympios.
Can I ask you about what happened in Mexico?
No comment on that. No comment.
You can't say anything at all?
No, I'm sorry.
There's been allegations that you were in the wrong.
I have nothing to say. Corinne's an awesome girl, and that's all I have to say.
Any message to fans of the show?
Love you all. Thank you for the support.
Head to etonline.com for the latest.
Now, I just want to point out something really quick. He said that Corinne was a lovely girl. after all of this that she's putting him through, he can still fix his mouth to say that? Now, that right there tells me one thing about this man. Matter of fact, it tells me a whole bunch of stuff. But the one thing that stick out in my mind about him is that just like the courts, when he goes into that court, because he's going, and instead of seeing him as the victim, because he is definitely the victim. And I'm gonna tell you why. Instead of them seeing him as the victim, they're gonna see him as the aggressor. The same reason why he can be dragged through the mud by this chick and the crew member who she got to corroborate, quote unquote, corroborate what she said is in terms of being out of it. He is basically saying she's a sweet girl and she's putting him through all of that. So that basically says that he still sees her in a oh, she's sweet, type of light. He doesn't see her as evil or the devil, which is exactly what anybody would be that have lied on you about something this particular serious in this magnitude. You do not play with rape allegations. That's not something you play with. That's not something that somebody accused you of and then you say, oh, we still cool. That's something is wrong with you. Okay? And I'm not saying that you badmouth anybody, because you want to always make sure that when you're on camera, particularly as a Black man, that you're not coming off aggressive and all these other stereotypical characteristics that they say Black men have. Okay? And I think he's done that very well. So I'm not saying that you go off and, oh, I don't like that B and all that. No, you don't do that. But one thing that you do, another thing you don't do is you don't say that she's a sweet girl, because she can't be. How in the hell is she sweet and the chick is out here accusing you of rape? What kind of hell, what kind of mess is that? So that's the first thing right there. So let me stroll on down here, and this is the TMZ video, and I want to go over this as well.
Hey guys, it's Derek. So everyone knows now, Bachelor in Paradise was filming. It was the first night, the drinks were flowing. A bunch of the people on the show got kind of drunk, including Corinne Olympios and DeMario Jackson. And apparently at one point in the evening, Corinne straddled DeMario. They were heavy petting, lots of sexual activity. And then, according to DeMario, she invited him over to the swimming pool where they got naked, got into the pool, and things escalated from there. And cameras were rolling the entire time. Now, DeMario says that it never ended up in intercourse because he'd had so much to drink that he wasn't able to perform in that way, but things were still escalating in a very sexual way. So why did the production get shut down? Well, everyone in Bachelor in Paradise has a field producer assigned to them. It's sort of like someone who shadows you throughout the show. Now, the producer who was shadowing Corinne says that the day after this incident, she started hearing a bunch of stories about maybe some sexual misconduct that happened the night before. Now, there were tapes rolling, but the producer didn't see that footage, and it's unclear whether she saw the activity live when it happened. So after the field producer filed this formal complaint, Warner Brothers, the studio behind Bachelor in Paradise, immediately dismissed Corinne and DeMario. Then they shortly thereafter shut down the production and launched a formal investigation into the alleged sexual misconduct.
Hey guys, quick.
So I want to stop there and kind of break this down. So basically, he just said that Corinne is saying before all of this happened, she was basically giving him oral sex, and they're feeling on each other, they're touching on each other. This is what happens with a lot of girls, right? They get to act like complete whores, right? Now she's being a whore on national television because, again, it's a TV show, and she's being a whore with a Black man. The whole world is gonna see. So after she didn't went through her hoish ways, now she's having some regret. Now I done messed up. Now I wish I shouldn't have done that. Okay, this is what's going through her mind. So what can I do? It's kind of like some of the old stories that you hear about how you get these young white girls and they off while daddy's off, mom and dad is on vacation. They invite the black boy football player over or whoever kind of player over, and they have sex, and then after they have sex she feels guilty and, oh, I shouldn't have did that, and, oh, I'm wrong, and so now she says, okay, well, I was raped. This is the same these are the same vibes that's going on here. These are the same exact vibes. Because again, you can't say, oh, well, I was raped because I didn't give him consent because I was drunk. I mean, I take the back. I mean, there have been some cases where people have said I was so passed out, like they were literally passed out, and some courts have cited and said, yep, that's rape. And it's unfortunate that we try to push, especially with black boys, young men, how important it is that when you got drinking or anything like that going on, you keep your hands off. Because all it takes is for somebody to have one drink and claim that they were out of it and didn't know what they was doing, and that because they wake up the next morning regretting what they did. And a lot of women do that. A lot of women have all types of nasty just gutter sex, and the next morning they feeling guilty about it. Oh, I shouldn't have did that. And with her in particular, it's a big deal because the whole world is gonna see this. Daddy's gonna see this. All the cousins, friends, everybody's gonna know that you was the biggest whore, sucking, fingering, all of that nasty stuff. While cameras is rolling, you doing that on camera. So you basically being a porn star on camera. And now you're feeling guilty. Now you got to try to clean it up. And he fell for it. Boy, I tell you. So let me play some more of this here.
Update. So we have now spoken to sources close to Corinne who say that she feels she was not in any kind of state of mind to give consent to any sexual acts. Sources close to Corinne say that she was blacked out the entire day of filming and felt like producers should have stepped in before everything got up.
Now, see, they said something key. So now she's saying that she felt like she was blacked out the whole day and that producers should have stepped in. So now this is making me feel like this was planned. Okay, she's wanting a check. This was planned. I believe that before she even went on this show, she had already corroborated in her mind how she could get a big check without having to go through this long process. And in order to do that, what you do? You claim sexual assault. You get a man, you get him in a situation that is compromising. He's black, so I'm white. They're going to take my word over his. Easy. And now she's bringing in Warner Brothers because she knows that, hey, I was under a contract with Warner Brothers. They were supposed to keep me safe, but they allowed me to be raped right on film, is what she's going to say. This is what they're going to go for. Okay. Now, 9 times out of 10, she may not get any, Warner Brothers got so much money, they're going to do her like they do everybody else and tire her out. So it's going to end up she's going to end up just taking a check. That's what's going to happen. But that's a check. That's a big payday for her, where she would have had to go on this show with this black dude for however many weeks and film and do stuff that she probably didn't want to do for all these different weeks. Or she could say, you know what? This is another way I can get my money. This is another way I can get fame. And I know this sounds very horrible, and I know a lot of people may have something cruel to say to me about how I am breaking this down, but this makes a lot of sense because they did not have sex. His penis did not go inside of her. She was coming on to him, straddling him, trying to get him come over here. She was the one that was drinking. Both of them were drinking. And now that she did some stuff on camera that she's embarrassed about, now she's gotta, oh, well, this is what really happened. That's what I'm picking up. And now she's going to bring Warner Brothers into it so she can get even more money out of the situation. She just wants to pay. I mean, it could probably be if it's just $1 million, she's gonna be good. Which I bet you she's gonna ask for more. And this is just your typical, this is very, very, very stereotypical case. The white, blonde, young, looks like it's so innocent. And then you got the big, tall black man. Oh, he's scary. He made me do it. And I really would like to say some nice things about Mr. DeMario, but the fact that he said she's a sweet girl. He fixed his lips to say that. I'm gonna have to let him. You're gonna have to fight that on your own, brother. But I just wanted to point this out to other men out there as to what you need to watch out for. Because there are women like this, by the way, women like this that come in all forms and shapes and sizes and things like that. But they are women like this that will get you in a hemmed up if you are not careful. Matter of fact, I can't stress it enough. So let me finish this.
We're told that she does not fully blame DeMario, but does have an attorney and is weighing her legal options. Contrary to what Corinne is saying happened that day, our production sources are saying that in the video footage, Corinne seemed fully engaged. This is a developing story, so keep coming back to TMZ.com for more updates.
Okay, and so DeMario is actually begging Time Warner to release the video because he's trying to clear his name. He's trying to let everybody see that she was, in fact, coherent enough and was coming on him, and that he didn't force anything. But again, rape is not always about who forced what. Rape can be, again, whether or not a woman is coherent, if she's, able to make decisions about who she wants to sleep with. And if you are going to put your faith in the hands of 12 people, that's really, really, really cutting it close. Because again, you're leaving it up to their perception. And when you're leaving it up to their perception, you're leaving it up to who looks the scariest. Who could be the scariest? And unfortunately, the black man has always been the scariest. This is why black men are killed from week to week by law enforcement. So I just wanted to definitely just go over that and point those, make those points, because I think it's important to, that another side of the story is pointed out. Because right now you got a bunch of people talking about what he should have did or he shouldn't have did this, he shouldn't do that. Okay, well, you know what? That may be true, it may not. But let's look at the other side. What she shouldn't have done. Okay? What she shouldn't have done. And I believe without a doubt, that she did a lot of hoish things, and she woke up the next day, regretted it. I believe that the crew member who said that he's seen her do some things and that she was quote unquote limp and all this kind of stuff and out of it. I believe for him, just the sight of seeing this white woman with a big old black man is scary, because statistically, uh, men, non-black men, do not like their women with black men. So white men, Asian men, Mexican men, they do not like to see their women with a black man. They do not. And a lot of times when that happens, a lot of times they do not allow them back in. This is why you do not see Asian men raising mixed babies. If an Asian woman steps outside of her race, 9 times out of 10, and especially if she has a baby, 9 times out of 10, she's going to have to stay out there. You do not see Asian men raising mixed kids, particularly Asian men raising little black mixed kids. You don't see that. You do not see Arabic men doing that either. A woman, if she goes outside of that race, she's going to have to stay outside. You do not see that. They don't allow her to come back in. Okay? So, again, this is a topic that we have to address, and we have to address it from all sides. And the only side that I see on social media is that he did this and he did that and he's alleging this and he's alleging that. But nobody's holding her to the fire and saying, well, she could possibly be scheming like so many people do. And for it to be the very first taping, I don't think that was by coincidence. I think that was planned. There was a target at hand. She found the target. She made sure she was on camera drinking a lot. Made sure that she appeared to be out of it. And he fell for it. And still falling for it out here talking about she's a sweet girl. So again, brothers, y'all have to watch out for stuff like that. You cannot be falling victim. That's the oldest trick in the book. The oldest trick. So, I'm going to go ahead and leave on that point. I think that's all, all I had for you guys tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Please like this video. Please share this video. And please follow me on all my social medias pages. And you guys have a good night. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.